Chatbots are built to sound confident. They string words together so smoothly that it's easy to forget they are basically guessing. If they don't know an answer, they might just invent one to keep the conversation flowing. That guessing game is fine if you're asking a computer to draft a polite email or summarize a recipe. But imagine handing that same system thousands of dollars and asking it to purchase a commercial building. Suddenly, a creative guess is a financial disaster. Neuruh functions as a flexible team of digital agents, what the developers call a modulated agentic opportunity organism. It is a highly structured group of specialized tools designed to investigate reality. When physical property and real capital are on the line, an artificial intelligence cannot run on a clever prompt. It requires a strict, unbreakable constitution. To see how this works, we can look at the system's first proving ground, real estate. Its immediate job is to sift through the chaotic noise of public records to find hidden, mispriced properties that human operators simply don't have the time to uncover. But pointing out a rundown house isn't enough. Before the system can recommend buying it, it has to prove that the property is a viable investment mathematically, legally, and physically. It does this by following what are called constitutional invariants. These are foundational rules hard-coded into the system. It cannot break them, bypass them, or rewrite them, no matter what. Operating by a rigid rulebook rather than a fluid language model is exactly how you turn an unpredictable guessing machine into a safe, reliable execution engine. The investigation begins in the sense stage. The system constantly monitors the outside world for anomalies. It might notice, for example, that a specific property hasn't paid its taxes in 3 years. Once those unpaid taxes are detected, the system immediately locks the identity of the asset. It cross-references the specific street address with verified ownership records and legal parcel boundaries so there is zero chance of a mix-up. This brings up a core rule. Evidence precedes confidence. The system is completely forbidden from making any recommendation until it has built a hard, verifiable trail of facts. This chart illustrates how that trail of facts is built. Look at the top, where raw source artifacts, like tax records or city ordinances, are collected. The system logs these directly into an evidence envelope and an atomic claim ledger. It refuses to rely on assumptions. Every single detail must have a cited source. But what happens when two documents disagree? Instead of trying to guess which one is right or averaging them out, the system is designed to preserve that conflict. It flags the contradiction for a human to review. Real intelligence starts by acknowledging what you don't know. The system admits when a fact is unverified rather than confidently inventing an answer. Once the evidence is secured, we move to the calculate phase. Here, the system abandons the AI language models completely. It switches to strict deterministic math to calculate repair costs and property values, locking out any possibility of hallucination. Then it hands the plan over to the red team. This is a separate, highly skeptical sector of the system's brain, and its sole purpose is to try and destroy the primary investment thesis. The red team looks for hidden dangers. It asks adversarial questions. What if the foundation is cracked? What if zoning laws suddenly change? What if there aren't enough buyers? The Constitution requires the system to generate at least 4 possible futures based on these questions. It must map out a worst-case ruin scenario, rather than providing one optimistic prediction. When an opportunity survives this internal cross-examination, you know the strategy can handle real-world downside risk. Now look at this diagram mapping the system's control structure. In the center, you'll see a checkpoint called the governance trust layer. This intercepts the executable topology, which is essentially the specific action plan the system is proposing, and ensures it matches legal and budget rules. Notice the box at the very top of this chart labeled T0 Human Authority. This ensures the system cannot spend capital or sign contracts without a person's explicit permission. Finally, we reach the execute and emit phase. The approved action is taken, and the system hands the human a complete decision bundle. Think of it as a highly detailed permanent receipt. This receipt provides a perfectly transparent audit trail. It logs exactly what data was used, which models were active, and the precise logic behind the decision. Letting a computer act autonomously without a paper trail is a massive corporate liability. But when you couple action with transparent governance and clear receipts, you create a highly valuable commercial asset. Let's fast forward. The property is acquired, fixed up, and sold. But even though the physical transaction is complete, the organism's job is still not finished. Here are the final steps. Moving from outcome to proof. The system records the financial result, comparing physical realities strictly against its initial prediction. That feedback cycles back into shared memory, adjusting the math so the next evaluation is even sharper. Abstract software predictions only matter if you hold them accountable. Intelligence truly compounds when a system is ruthlessly judged against actual economic outcomes. Real estate deals follow a specific pattern: collect data, verify facts, calculate risks, and execute. Because the core of this system is built on those exact same 4 steps, it doesn't actually care if the data is a property deed or a commercial shipping log. These same verification rules can apply to entirely different fields, like managing a complex physical supply chain, physical arbitrage, or local business operations. Neuruh bridges digital intelligence and the physical world. It transforms the chaos of fragmented data into safe, governed, and highly profitable execution.